Hold on a second, I'm going to close my door and then I come and set.
Hurry up.
Yep, I'm back.
Yeah, I see you.
Yeah.
You know, what came to me right away, I see Saudi Arabia, I see Iran, I see Bangladesh, and they're all different timelines, but everywhere I see you in different uniform. One of them is like dark green uniform and beret type thing on the side, and you're like a soldier type, but you are in charge of a few soldiers. So, like, you're promoted, I see, to lieutenant, I guess. And I see you in some division. Let me see what it is. Eagles, flying eagles, but they're like yellow, golden label. It's like square with that kind of shield type on your uniform. But this is happening on Earth right now in the parallel. And I also see you in Africa, in South Africa. And you are doing some, you're throwing some, there's like two, you look like an old woman with very long hair, and you got like two baskets on both sides, and what you're doing, you're just throwing the herbs, you're picking up herbs and throwing them into the fire, and you are asking the skies for protection. Because what I see happening to your village is that interesting thing. I see like a fleet of rather kind of you imagine like a square turned almost like a diamond shape crafts coming passing by, and they release at the bottom, they open. You know, could you please like turn off your microphone, because I don't know, there's some noise.
Yeah, it's very windy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, whenever you want to ask a question, just, you know, unmute yourself. But yeah, from the crafts, there's just little balls coming, and they're like green glowing balls. They drop into the village, where I think it's like because I see the drums, the different type of drums, like these ones that you bang like this, a tambourine type thing, and then the drums that you just pound with your hands. It's like you do rituals, right? But you're all about herbs, and when you know you do that, because your village is being attacked by those spacecrafts, and they drop the green energy balls, and they when they hit the ground, they unfold into some green alligator, or it's kind of a hybrid alligator slash turtle type creatures, and they do have like turtles on the back of the shell, and they penetrate the ground, and it's almost like create some overlay of electromagnetic field that you feel that it lowers the vibration of the earth, it lowers the vibration that you feel from the earth. It does something not so good, and by doing that, what they're doing, they're basically like eating the ground, and they're creating wormholes into the center of the earth. and you want to help. You come from Sirius B, and you've been to Sirius C a lot too. But Sirius C is more like a little tiny satellite. And you are one of those beings, they in some timelines they're amphibian, how I see you. I see you spending like most of your time on the surface, and you live in those type of domes. They're just like transparent crystalline structure. That you get the crystals from Sirius A and you mold them into crystalline structure, and they're more like this. Looks like a dome, but they have the continuation on top like this. And that particular thing, like a chimney, creates a vortex inside that connects you as a triangle like Sirius A, B, and C. And but there's a school of thought of creation there, and that's where you work there as a teacher. You see, but teacher not for locals, teacher for the different alien groups, because they come by ships, and I see almost like a field where basically they park their ships by the mountains there. The mountains, not the mountains, they're like growing structures of crystalline structures. You can see through them. They're absorbing the energy from space, and you can program what energy that you want them to absorb to be used for different specific projects. And you're like a researcher and a teacher there. And you're all about manipulating, controlling energies, and yeah, and how to mold them and program them with the power of your thought to make them unfold into something. And here I see the that old looking Nazi ships come from 1932, 33. It comes to me that was the equivalent of the Earth years there. And they start, I see them taken over that school you're there. And then there are about 50 of you working there at different levels. And they take you on the spaceship, and it's inside, it's all metal. And they put you on this like a stretcher type thing, and your wrist and your ankles are get tied to the stretcher. And I see you're trying to get out. Why they did that? Because they actually, you had like 5 lives in parallel on Sirius B. That's why I said like at some point you were amphibian being swimming, but at that point you're in 3D and you're just doing the teaching basically. I see you like a single male, very tall, kind of bluish energy body, but you do have the skin, and it's like blue in nature, but it's also translucent, and the big like blue dark kind of eyes, and they are, what they're doing, they're compressing, they're saying. So there's a machine next to the wall, and it looks like a big, I want to say compressor all the time. It's because they kind of take your energy body out of your, it's pretty much energy, but it's almost like more like physical, because it's towards the first dimension but not there yet. And they take it out like from a glove and put your energy body, which turns into an essence, like I see the inside, the outside, like two spheres in one, basically. And they put it in this machine, and the blue changes it into yellow, and then changes into rather green, but then into purple. It's like they look how you react to certain vibration. It's like they connect a wave of vibration and a wave of light, and they try to influence the soul and see where your specifics or your characteristics lay. And it seems like you're about spreading the word. You're about like rather information related or teaching or something like this. But you like working with energies and connecting to different energies because you crave this. And at the earth level, you crave connection to people and informational exchange type thing. And you're always like searching, you have like the inner radar system of finding the right people for you. But in you always accumulate, you kind of like want to do research, but not type of research they do here on earth. It's mostly you wish you could just like do this with energies like you used to do in this life in South Africa, when you can kind of manipulate them with your hand motions, with your thought at the same time. And then you would tell others in a circle that you're around that fire that what to do at what time to do, but you would speak telepathically because you also teach them telepathy and reading energies. And you do know all about like earth's herbs and what vibration they all have and which one would be better for even calling rain or something like this. Because you sit in a circle, you touch each other, you hold each other's hands, and then sometimes you throw herbs, other times you don't, but it just depends what you feel. If you collected enough energy to shoot it up with it's like a programmed energy you create by your thought together as collective of that circle. And so you can request this or that in your work with nature, because you absolutely feel like everything is sentient, like the ocean on your planet and the skies and everything around can hear you, and you can talk to plants and everything. Let's go back to the ship. Yeah, what they do, they just they kind of like slice your essence into 18 parts, and then it's an interesting thing. It's like 18 parts, but 19th is the one kept the spaceship, and then they shoot all those in the portals to incarnate on Earth. And I even see you incarnating into the rock, water. It's like a gradual thing, but it's not really gradual. It's at the same time in parallel, because you're supposed to be elements of Earth, but the elements of Earth would give you enough information so you'll be able to connect to Earth, because they need your connection to Earth to open up so they can use you for manipulating the energies through you of the Earth. Because you like people are like antennas, and you're like a powerful antenna for them to connect to the center, to the essence of the Earth, because they know this period of time is coming when everything is changing, And that's when they want to grab as many people to work for them. And therefore they created all kinds of movements or ideas or thoughts, schools of thoughts, and to kind of manipulate you and distract you and confuse you. But let me see. So those are actually kind of like, they're very interesting race. Okay, they have the legs. Those who captured you, legs look exactly like, the Ninja Turtles. It's like very thick green legs, and the body is kind of thick and muscular, and they stand up on their feet. These ones don't have the shell on the back, but they have some device on the back. This was like a big control device on the back put in. And I see you having the same thing they put in you. Exactly on the upper back was the cords going down and connecting to the waist area was the belt. And this thing, it has like a cord. It goes up through the spinal cord and overlays the brain kind of on top. Almost like, it looks like a helmet, but somebody cut it on the sides and overlaid the brain both sides on top. Looks like a metallic in structure, but I feel like it's moldable, that they can put things in. This is like they can insert the it's like little squares. I think of this are like the discs with programs, and they can be activated remotely activated from their ship, because they send some waves through the cording system, and the cord system is like in the astral, it's energetic in nature, but it does affect your body automatically, your physical body. So those are creatures. Yeah, and the neck is long, but it's got like creases and overlaps like the skin, and it's like a reptilian face, but the eyes are more like round rather than in shape, rather than almond, but the same slits like reptilians have. So Zikos or Zokos? Zikos. They say Zikos like with double E. It's like their race, and also their planets have some codes. I feel like they're semi-artificially created, like they took over some planets, renamed them, and because when I look at their planet, it built out of red rocks on top. There's like totally red rock structures, looking like gates, looking like squares, and those are for energy consumption or preservation, something like this. And the gates are like portals, and the red rocks are coming from a different planet. This planet was destroyed by them. So they just programmed you in all those lives and send you there. So basically there are like 19 parts of you, and what you do right now, your subconscious, after seeing all this, you just line them up. You called all their boss who's in charge. He's on the spacecraft, but he is much taller. He looks more like rather not a reptilian, but a reptilian turtle crocodile type mix. And they participate in all kinds of hybridization programs to improve their race, as they feel. but at the same time they're very much interested in improving it with DNA, like this major galaxies they're going for. Andromeda constellation, Pleiades, they're going for the the Polaris, they like to go there. It looks like quite a few different locations they are shooting for, the DNA. Sometimes they exchange for their technology, and sometimes they just grab it when they are not given it. And there's kind of like forceful creatures that use kind of different weaponry, but the weaponry look like sticks, like short, long, and they shoot some either plasma or laser beams. So your subconscious like called them all. This crocodile type being showed up, he's in charge. You also got kind of like eyes that are sticking out, like bulging eyes, I guess. And that reminds me of some sort of insect, and I think he does have, touch him. He has 1.8% of the like grasshopper type mantis DNA. And there are other 7, so came. So there are 8 of them together, and you just put them in the like lab glass containers, like lab tubes, and froze them. And I'm telling your subconscious to ask them for the contract. The contract. They say it's at some other spacecraft. You say bring it here right now. I see some interesting thing. It's like a bowl, like a transparent glass bowl with a red flashing light inside. And that flashing light has the information, everything of your soul, of your race, of all your lives together. This red flashing light is somehow connected to the implant system you have, because I also see, when I said that, it's like flashing in here in your pineal gland too. It's like a GPS system, but pineal gland they're blocked, but because they want to use it and not to let you use it. Basically what it does, it absorbs information from outside, from all the people you deal with, and then it would send the information back to that bowl. And this is like your contract thing. And I see like instead of contracts, they use the bowls like this. It's like the energy information bowl. So what you do is just you put it, and it levitates in between your 2 hands, and you do this motion and it kind of explodes, and you get this little thing. It looks like a crisscross thingy, but it has only 3 sides, and on the sides there's like things like this in the wave motion. And this is like a disk or something to the, like a hard disk of information that they have on you, all the research. But there's also something connected to the moon here. I see like a clear connection. And this is their archive room, goes to archive room. There are books, and the books of lives, and they already composed, programmed them, but they can change little details here and there. But to write a life, they would use that archive on the moon. It's like Akasha records, but it's on the moon. Akasha records are also controlled by different alien races, but not that one, not this one. And you basically just go there and you retrieve a book. The book of, well, it says Dark Fleet, and it says technological operator. Well, you are in Dark Fleet, because I see now, I recognize the uniform, but you have to do more with technology, but it's not like you're directly connected to computers, not like that, even though you use them, but you use them with your mind. So you're not really, your mind disconnected, and they use your soul experience and knowledge in energy production and manipulation and construction to be able to reconform, reform, restructure some of their apparatus system. So they got for them to be used for different mental and emotional control system devices that they used on others. You don't even, well, you're forced to do it because they brainwashed you, but when you were a child, they see you at the age of 8, and they would pick you up by ship at night, and a lot of times they would pick you up physically, but they would erase your memory. It would be like a dream, and they would actually insert a fake dream into your head instead of that one, and the dream would be something about chasing and running and all this. The reason why you get nightmares also because they made you a soldier on Earth in those, like I see Gaza Strip, I see Iran, I see all those, Bangladesh, a lot of places where you're being used as a soldier and you don't even remember it. Because it's a part of that, I feel like it's a part of that 50-50 Dark Fleet, that they would want you to throw one of your, those essences from all those lives. They would take your essence out and they would just throw it to be just a soldier. And I see them taking the essence from a rock, from a tree, from water, because it's almost like it's easier to program, no, it's easier for them to put you in a cyborg type body programmed, and you would not react, you would not try with the power of your free will or soul, reject or refuse or rebellion. A lot of times it's just like that. And I see them, they used like about 30 different soldier, like cloned bodies for you, but there's only 7 left. The other ones were discarded. The word that came, that something happened to them in terms of programming, that something didn't go well, because it's a lot of times they would use you for experimental stages too, it looks like, because they create different types of soldiers and they would want you to try to put your particular part fragmented essence in this particular kind. And yeah, heavy weaponry soldier, and there's like different other kinds. There's even one type was like a black skin type suit, but then you got the kind of like a greenish yellowish camouflage uniform on top, which is interesting. And that's why I see you like that, and in some Iraq underground facilities like that. Interesting. There's some underground water system that you need a black suit for, to swim through some portals to get you to different locations. And okay, let's just leave this here. But you got the book, you got this thing, and you're just creating a huge fire, and the fire is like bright orange with kind of bright electric blue flames in it. It's kind of like together, there's two colors, and you just throw your book that they created lives from and put them into this disc, and you put the disc in the fire too, and then it all burns down. I fast forward, burnt, so you collect it and you just like make it getting collected, but you're just thinking it into doing it, and it does it by itself, and you throw it into the portal. But then you take all those 8 beings and you command them to go to the portal too, because you say, I don't trust you to take my implants out, I'll do it by myself. And that reptilian in charge was the one who, it's like he participates in this moon projects, like he goes back and forth basically from one base to another, and he trades souls that he gets. So they went, and you're taking this big huge overlay of metal from your head, taking this out. There's a cord going down, spinal cord, that system on the back. You kind of like slowly take it out. It's like a platter. So you hold this too, and it goes into another cord through the spinal cord into this belt type thing, but it looks like a metal ring around your waist area, mostly on your hips. And you take this out too. It's kind of like to keep your energy body under pressure inside your physical. They needed this system, and also to control you and to pull you when they needed to pull you for yet another type of experimentation. And I feel like they would use some weapon to see how beings like you would react, because I have a feeling that they're trying to hijack the other realities on Sirius B and other planets with similar kind of beings, but they're not succeeding much because they have a hard time getting to that level, even though they're using you as a walking portal to the high dimensions, because you've been incarnated in high dimensions a lot. So you just take the implants out. There's one thing, there's some type tiny little wire system on your feet where your toes are, and it's almost like your toes are amphibious or something interesting, like you're getting ready to become an amphibian again. Yeah, like you're merging into another dimension from that. And they take it out too. It's almost like they put it on like a system of control also, because by that you would not really connect to Earth the way you want it in your high vibration, but they can turn it and change it into you influencing the Earth with a low vibration of the like rage, anger, dissociation or denial type feelings that they would want you to create constantly. And you took those out too. So you threw like you're throwing literally drawing like a portal with your finger, opening it and throwing all the implants through, closing the portal. And so I'm just telling you, your subconscious, to check on their mental, emotional bodies, because they got all kinds of little tiny, it's like somebody put black dots all over, but those are programs. Some of them look like gray little kind of balls of energy that is twirling. That's your energy. You created that by yourself. The black dots come from your childhood or from people you encountered in life who had like parasitic beings attached to them, and by using those people they would try to influence you energetically, and those are being created in connection with them, in interfacing with them. So what you do, you just create a very big giant waterfall, and you walk through the waterfall with your energy bodies, and they're just being cleansed, like they become slowly transparent, and all those black little tiny dots and the gray swirls, they're just coming down. They create like a big puddle, which you put like a slit with your finger, and slit opens up into a portal, and it all goes down under your feet into a portal, like a drainage system or something. So it's draining down, and yeah, I see your bodies like connecting, all together, and they're clean. You're pointing at those. Now you're going to do all your different timelines. First of all, you actually go to the timeline when they slit you. It's like some sort of technology that literally slices the soul into as many pieces as they want. And this one that on the spaceship, but it's contaminated. So what you do is you take it and preserve it. It's almost like you put it in a container, and it's like attached to your own energy sphere. But it's interesting that you encapsulated it, and you said it's a slow process, but I'm gonna take and cleanse it from all the chemical substances that they used on me, but I'm gonna do it by myself because I don't want it to be taken over and used, and I don't want to integrate it now because it would just contaminate me. But the other 18 pieces that you're incarnated, like a fragments, you go to different timelines and you just shoot a powerful wave of cleansing. The reason why you wake up and start watching this all of a sudden, all of it understanding, because all the other parts, basically 17 parts, your 18s, got to the point of understanding and consciousness, being conscious about what's going on. You know, even your soul part, the fragment in the rock and the tree and the water are the same. They understood all of it because they are connected to the earth's essence, and they get the information from there. But then you cleanse this one, then you go back to the moment before they captured you, and you just put like like change decorations in the theater. You change the decoration like they never came. You're on Sirius B, you're teaching, and this fleet of spacecrafts never came because you send a wave of information to all the beings who are there, and you decided to protect yourself by creating like a shield of energy around the planet, knowing that these particular beings would try to get to you, but they cannot do it anymore because your awareness creates this powerful protection. So, and now they know what happened to you. They're also the other, so they're like captured 50 beings, you send the information to them. It just happens automatically. And here's the thing, you have this chakra overlays. I still see them. And what you do, I tell you that you can do two things. You can just push them out and dissolve them as you're pushing them out, or you can raise your vibration and just burn them up with the intention of melting them. And you said, I'll just push them out. And you look, all of a sudden you're pushing out, and it's like a beating system of discs all connected through the chains, little chains, and just put them in the bright yellow portal that you created. And you raise your vibration. You want to be calm, because what they also been doing to you through that being a soldier, they've been like pumping. You've been a soldier on Mars too. There's because the moon and Mars connected, and it's like they use those cloned bodies to send you to different locations for a little bit here and there, and to do the experiments of different substances. They're kind of, they mimic the adrenaline at the physical level, so you constantly feel like agitated and like running, like doing something, and it's because the programming from those cloned soldiers leak into you, and you feel like you're running on adrenaline all the time. You cannot calm yourself down, and that's why when I see your subconscious raising vibration, you stop at the calm level. You want to be calm and reflective, because in that life of you're like an herbalist / shaman type person, but you can encode, decode energies and work with energies of anything, nature, people, whatever. And there you're very calm, and you keep coming to people like that you connect easily with, because you are one of them, and you want to be calm, but they keep pumping some chemical substances into the bodies of those soldiers to make them exhibit crazy reactions, emotions, thoughts, and from that comes your agitated kind of imbalanced feeling and conditioning inside and between your subconscious and conscious, but let alone that you were like both of the spheres of your brain were kind of under attack too, of that implant, were just suppressing the irregular activity. And but you took it all out, and you're also going to the specific moments when they start abducting you to the spacecraft, taking your DNA, and they would just make little scratches here and there in the spots that you would not notice as a child, or would think that you fell and something showed up there. And you just cancel out those moments. You just delete everything that happened on your timeline in negative nature that affected you and made you scared at night, made you scared to be without anybody, and made you want to be basically, you'd be scared to be on your own. and you would be scared of the dark. It would feel like energies around you also, and you would know as a child when they were coming too, which kind of put you on this fear mode. So right now you're just trying to, at the physical level, to, like a Matryoshka doll, take one layer to another to uncover it all. But you canceled out those, and you refuse to participate in their on-surface military projects, because that was all in that book on the moon that you took. And that's pretty much it, what I see. And you just cleared everything. I see, like, what I see is like you shut the fibers of electricity, but I see them as fibers, like pretty thick energetic fibers, and you cleansed, you went through the timelines, and with a powerful, like, wave, almost like electrical wave, you cleansed them all. Yeah. So that's done. And let me see. I'm telling you to look at your DNA. There's 38 different strands. They're all blue in nature. And then you're showing me you can do this with your hand and make them white. You can do this and make them blue. And your subconscious also knows that you can add DNA strands if you wanted to. But the best way to add them is to live through experience on yet another planet or system to acquire more experience. Because you erase the bad moments, you erase the participation in different programs. But those projects, that's what they are. But you do have the experience and you do have the memories. So it's just that the emotional, mental connections that influence you in the moment of now are erased. But they're gonna come down, and I see, like, it's 3 to 4 months that they would come down slowly, because you need time to build up an informational base for yourself. And then when you start building it, like when you're reading or watching something or talking to somebody who energetically stimulates your memories, opening up like a flower, then you would connect all the flowers in this field to kind of create this one big, I see it's like a lotus, white lotus flower, and it just opens up petal by petal, and you'll see the whole picture later. It's just gonna take time. But also you have to understand the different, because when you raised your vibration, I saw a lot of little energy, kind of like threads falling off. You know what they actually do? That when you smoke, that smoke around you creates like a portal. They use your energy to create a portal of low vibrational beings who would come and attack you. And they're basically not, well, it's actually called an energy attack, because what they would do, they would attach themselves to all the openings, enter points, access points of each chakra overlay, and they would start sucking the information out of you, energy out of you. But those guys would also use it as a connection, because they're like in control. I see that this is like a whole system. They're very clever. It comes from the spaceships, then the cord goes to you, when those energy, low vibrational 1, 2D beings come to you to suck your energy out, then the other ones also automatically grab around 28% of energy, 27, 28, and it comes to this spaceship to fuel it, the whole system, all the labs, everything, all the rooms, technologies. And they're connected to a lot of people like this. But there's something about the mind control and that smoke. It's also, I see the soldiers that was connected to that one. To keep these chemical substances going, they need some other substance that you would use at the physical level to almost like fixate or secure the results of that working. But it fell out, but you kind of have to, as I understand, as I see, create a different routine system. When you want to do that, you would rather go exercise or run, or go smell the flowers outside. Things like that, just like distract your attention to doing something else. It's going to be hard for the first like 30 to 34 days, how I see it, but then it would become like a normal and you'll switch the routine. Because now you understand they made you do it in the first place. Because you were totally under control. I mean, that's what they do. They grab a being, they manipulate your consciousness. You become that kind of weak type of soul that cannot really put together free will and do what you want as a creator being, and they would rather use your creative abilities for themselves. So now you can undo it, all the programming, but it's going to take like one program at a time. You'll just figure out what you do in a pattern matter and start doing another pattern for yourself to overpower what was done before. But other than that, you can ask whatever questions, because I see you clean. I see you like light blue transparent body right now with a tint of like darker blue on the sides. And then your energy sphere is clean. I don't see any cracks or indentations or anything like this. You can ask any.
Yes, I can relate to so many things because everything you told me, I saw splinters of it. And I always wondered when I was 15 months old what they did to my spine because I couldn't walk anymore. And my mom had to change my diapers with gloves on.
Yeah, but it's related to chemical substances that they put in you. The spine, I mean, the implants were always there, but they would actually replace them because remember I told you about technology and testing technology on you? Those are like implants are technology too. So as your body grew, they would change them. But I felt like you were heavily influenced by the technology and substances, because as you were little, those soldiers and all these lives were running at the same time. You were not so little there, and they were influencing you too. And when they would grab a clone and do experimentation on that clone, it would also be influencing you. So I see you like intoxicated with chemicals, to be honest, and also the whole nervous system was overlaid, and nervous system is very much needed for all those milestones that baby reaches to be at certain point on the timeline. And as they were doing their manipulations, you just like resulted into that. And that's exactly what they were experimenting on, what influence they would have on the physical body if we did that, if we improved that implant in that way, or turned on this particular, remember the panel on your back? They were like literally twisting the knobs and doing whatever they wanted to do. And you just became weak.
Very, very weak. I can't do anything the last years, at least more as 10 years. I just sleep, sleep, sleep. I'm tired all the time. And I felt myself dying a lot of times. And then I was like, how can I get that feeling?
The dying you felt because you were multiple all those soldiers, they would die. Do you remember how many clones, like they just basically discarded them because there was something in they've been used so many times that dying of a clone, you felt like that because there is a slight, you're powering them with your energy, so there is a slight connection there. You could even get visions from them or thoughts or some sort of like slight hint of emotions just because the energy wave, it's like an electric shock would shock you, and all of a sudden you're sad, or all of a sudden you were angry, or things like that.
Exactly. That's happening to me a lot, and I don't know how to stop it. Or I didn't know.
It was happening to you a lot because right now you're disconnected, you're just totally different. Unless you go back into the same habits of thinking, but you just have to, you understand everything now, so you just have to re-listen to the session to understand it deeper and connect things. But they always try to attempt to connect. They do, but because you are consciously aware of what's going to happen, it's just not going to work for them. So important to keep everything clean, but it's like you have to work on your
Mind,
right, yeah.
So if I'm connected now, I can try again to make everything right in my life, and like the smoking, eating, start meditating without that. Because when I meditate, my whole body starts to shock.
Yeah, well, that's the implant system, because it's programmed to react to certain vibrations or certain things you do. And when you would try to even recover your memories in the past, it would block you,
Yes. So now I can start doing it again.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, wow. And also about everything you told me, I saw splinters of it. I saw my hands change. I already knew that I changed in an amphibious. I saw two blue creatures on my room. I have a daughter with a South African from the Costa.
Oh, really?
I have a past life memory like it's India, but it also could be Bangladesh. And I think this guy, I'm not sure if he was my handler or an ET or my twin flame. And we lost each other there as I have a feeling I was
was a handler type creature.
Yeah.
Because I see when you talk about the guy, I got like a pain in my heart. And I also see like a very ugly face of, let me describe, it's almost like a lizard type being, very sleek, shiny, slimy kind of skin, very like this face, very thin face, very mean eyes, like a snout like this, very thin but little type creature. And he's in some sort of armor. Like he was supposed to teach you something. I got in my head, teach you a lesson to be tougher and to damage you more psychologically at the physical level.
The thing I felt with him, it was like he had antenna, a sort of antenna on his head.
Knowing where you are, what you're doing, what you're thinking, type thing.
Wow. And yeah, when we broke up, it felt like it literally felt like I got a virus in my heart. And I thought it was so strange.
Yeah, because what I see when you're saying that, like I told you, I got like a shooting of extreme pain in my heart, and I see him, he's like energetically connected to you, was connected to you through your heart. And it was like almost like a arrow, you know, like you shoot an arrow and it gets stuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he could influence you big time, and it's like a GPS system also for him. He would also follow you, and you would always feel his presence in around you, even when he wasn't physically present.
Yes, true. But I couldn't decide, like, is he programmed too, or is it a past life thing, or is it just pure evil what's coming on my way, you know?
No, he was specifically put on your path, and he was encoded into your so-called destiny. You know, like the right story of your life. So the more suffering goes in it, the better it is for them energetically, so they can eat that low vibrational energy. But yeah, he was the one he was related to controlling you on this, being soldiers in different like locations in those war zones. And he was supposed to keep you at certain kind of like suppress you. You know, you don't have the rights, like a slave type mentality, and like a victim mentality also, to create it for you. You couldn't detach no matter what you do, and you would always kind of feel him. That's what he was trying to implement and install in your head.
But
He
this is,
basically,
yeah, this is
yeah,
over now.
yeah, it is over. You got
Yes.
burnt. You burnt a lot of like energy kind of cords.
Yes, about also that time, my body was, I think, for a few days, it felt like I was literally burning. Literally. I just could scream it out. I try to explain. It's like in the movies, like I'm literally burning in hell and I don't know what's going on.
Well, you've been being burnt a lot. I mean, it's not only that you've also been burnt in France, what I see, and as a witch. I see you in Italy too, doing some witchcraft type thing. You're always interested in energies and helping people with like healing, but using energies and herbs. There's a lot of like lives like that. So it just there's about 6 lives like that I see. So from all those 18. Yeah, and you kind of like, it's hard for you to adapt here also, because you haven't been here for this long,
Okay.
and you have hard time understanding kind of how human psychology type thing, because I feel like but that's why that there's so much programming here happened to you, because they were trying to uh, prevent you from using your ability, because your third eye is like your scanner system type system. As an amphibian, you can scan through surfaces and also objects, when you interface with a person, you just completely, it's almost like you draw like outside of the person energetically, and you start feeling the field of that person, and you can literally get into the person's mind through that kind of that's kind of like you do. You separate the person from the environment, and then you slowly, like a wave of water, get into like that. So
Well,
yeah,
I know I'm a little telepathic, and also I don't see auras or colors, but still, yes, I know I feel something, and I can understand a little what's going on, or I don't know how to explain.
yeah,
And the thing from South Africa, I dreamt, yeah, I thought it was a dream. I saw me and my daughter. My daughter was my best friend in the forest, and I knew she and her, we knew everything about herbs and how to heal people. And we had long, very long hair. Um, and we were standing by a big fire.
yeah. That's exactly how I see it. Your daughter has an interesting, it's like you know, like the colors they use or paints or whatever, there's just like a goes like this, and there are dots everywhere, but this thing is yellow with blue dots all the way. And they're like children of blue feather, you call them, that they came from Sirius B. Like souls came to you, you know, your children, and later also
Wow.
that's how you call your daughter.
So my daughter is from the same planet as I am. Or
Yes, because there's a connection. Yes, because she came to you, to your vibration, and I feel like she was one of the she was one of those teachers who were working with you in that dome that I saw you
wow.
working with energies. Because what happened is they didn't take all of the teachers, they took some particular ones, like you, and altogether 50 of you, and the other ones who are working there, which is 38 that I see, the other 38 will try to seek you out by vibrational pattern and incarnate close to you as close friend and family member or children
Wow.
to rather stimulate your connection, and through that connection stimulate your awakening. So
Wow. Yeah, there's another strange question I have. I have a teacher. I go to him from meditation, and he makes us yeah, connect. He always say connect to the light ring. But the strange thing is, I always get the feeling like there is some kind of sexual connection, and it makes me feel awkward.
um the teacher got snake type creature behind him, and behind the snake I see a spider type creature, like translucent yellow spider. And what they do, these two creatures, these are like his helpers. Snake is on the right, spider's on the left, and they both, snake shoots like a little, you know, like energy wave from her tongue, connects to
Yeah.
the person, all the people he works with, and that spider shoots like a web. It connects all the people like into a web, those who come to him. And he's not consciously aware of this though. He's not doing
Okay.
it on purpose.
Okay.
It just you know, it's like they gave him the power, and in his meditations, and
Mhm.
they gave him some good ideas also. They gave him some good information that which made him believe that those are his helpers, his energy helpers. But they're not. They're like shooting like lasso, right? They're like a cowboy, like, and they get hooked to people.
Wow.
That's why, yeah, you feel like, you know, that what you feel is like they grab you and they drain your energy. And the energy of the most powerful energy would be sexual energy for them. So that's what they would do. But it's called that way, but it's actually like an extract of the energy of creation. So that's why they go for it a lot. And that's why they created the whole, you know, system of wrong ideas and advertising the wrong ideas to the kids, to adults, you know, people at very young age, because they want to drain that particular energy.
Wow. At least I'm happy that he is not aware of it. Because it made me a little bit paranoid. Like, what is this, you know? And one time I had yeah, how do you say it? He tried to teach me to connect with my higher self. And when he was going to my chakras, I was awake and I was literally changed in a Pharaoh Anunnaki, a man, a male type, and then I went like the Pharaoh Anunnaki on one knee by a little water stream, and when I watched up, I was connecting with a building in the sky. And it really shook me, like, what is this? Is it DNA what's in me, or what does it mean? It scared me a little bit, or...
No, it's not a DNA that in you, but it's rather you opened, you know, a portal through that. And those beings like to show up in this meditative state and deceive you. Sometimes they would show you a screen of kind of like fake, you know, visions.
Yes.
Also, but I see like you see through this, you see through the dimensions. At that particular moment you're describing, it wasn't a screen, but you can see bits and pieces of what is going on behind the scenes that we don't see, which is multiple beings, multiple astral platforms with castles and buildings, with cities, whatnot, you know, there's lots of stuff going on. And you kind of see, you went into deep theta state. So probably close to delta, because I feel like you were almost about to fall asleep in all this, but you were rather shocked from what you saw, so you jumped up to theta and then alpha state after that. So.
Yeah, that's always happening to me.
Yeah, because I mean, when you're in meditation, or what I am doing, I'm going up and down too, you know.
Okay, yeah.
You can never be stable at the same particular kind of state of, you know, the brainwave. You always go down and higher, up and down, and like this.
Yeah, I'm amazed what you do, because it's so strange. It's like everything you told me, I have ideas, feelings, experience. So it's like you wave the whole story together. Because also the crocodile, the sort of crocodile species you saw, my oldest brother, he's married with somebody from Indonesia. We call it Molucca, and they work with the crocodile entities. And I really have the feeling that her family is holding and catching my brother for some reason. I don't know how or what, but I know we have to do something with crocodiles.
Yeah. Yeah, so there's so many hybrids. I mean, they literally hybridize themselves. Sometimes there's so many DNAs in one the types of DNA in one creature. You have to. What I do, I just touch and then I read the DNA. The same thing I did with your energy body, just to make sure that were you, because a lot of times you try to find a person in the astral and somebody would just shapeshift into that person, you know.
Wow.
So you
Wow.
have to make sure.
Yeah, thank you very much.
So if you don't have any questions.
Just one, but also was strange. I did ayahuasca, and after that, I was meditating at home, and then it was like I had, yeah, how can I explain? Like a DNA tracker of the ayahuasca in my body.
Yes,
And like,
because
yeah, is that true?
yes, because they connect you to entities. There's entities standing behind this ayahuasca ceremony. Basically, any big ritual like that is popular and a lot of people go to. There's also a egregore or egregor, you know, Latin word.
Yes.
Yeah, because there's lots of people united by the same belief,
Mm-hmm.
and they're in the same kind of AI system technology type, how do you call it, machine type thing.
Yep.
Because how I see it, it's like a big metallic cube with lots of eyes in it. Means there's so many people and they just united by the same idea and belief, and this belief is very strong, and that's what entities love to create. They love to believe the idea, believe that everybody, like religion, everybody would believe in it, and they would get connected to it. And once you're connected, they can drain energy from you constantly, 24/7. So the
Wow.
more of those you're connected to, the less energy you have for yourself. That's why you felt this. Because everything that can be used for good, they would try to turn to be used for negative, you know. So in all those ceremonies, there's truth to them, but they took over them, you know. They completely made them their own and controlled by themselves, and created those egregore type machines that everybody can be connected and drain the energy from those people. And it looks to me like in the metal cube, sometimes I see like octopus type being,
Yes.
just
Yes.
depends, or even jellyfish type being with lots of tentacles.
So no more ayahuasca for me, this.
Now you would get reconnected and things would start, like you would have some people come to me and say, oh, I have voices, or I have archangel who connected to me and talks to me every day after ayahuasca. And because what they do, they open portal for the beings, and all sorts of beings kind of come in like in huge numbers and tried also to connect. Like, you're not only that you're connected to that machine, but you also open yourself up in the
Yeah.
ceremony for anybody to come,
Yeah.
which can be a, you know, interesting experience for some. Oh, you know, I see dimensions and creatures and beings and look what I see. But it's like there's always something you have to give back or pay with for those energetically.
Wow.
So
Is the person aware?
the person who does ayahuasca, no, it's like the same thing like Reiki, you know, through Reiki.
Uh,
Why do you think they do all these rituals to become a Reiki master? The
uh,
rituals are the layers of you connected to the certain machine that drains your energy, in that, you know,
wow.
and another egregor that you are in. And they like creating those everywhere because
Whoa.
they like to drain our energy, you know.
And I did all of them. All of them I did. That's
Imagine,
probably,
because you were searching. You were
yes.
searching.
Yes.
It's a path of
Um,
many people, you know. That's
yeah,
what
I
you.
think so. But okay, the only thing, yeah, the safest way for me is just meditating on myself, start to getting a healthy life.
Right.
I, and yeah, and so now I will get my memories back slow by slow, I think.
Yes, I think you can meditate. You'll have flashes. You'll have visions too. I feel like you're very much connected to the space, and you can get the answers from there. You know what I mean? Space is like a big Google
Yeah, I know.
search engine. So, but now you're connected, so you can do
Oh,
that.
thank you very much. Okay, last question, and then I'm gonna stop. Is my daughter also like in a sort of danger because she has nightmares big time?
She had nightmares from you. She's still in your energy sphere, and whatever you experience, she was experiencing. She's like connected to you energetically, you know.
Mm-hmm.
She still was you. So you're like her protector, and she feels you, and everything you feel, she feels automatically. Every single fear you have, she has it. If you have a nightmare, she would have it. If you go through stages of, hard times and very emotional, she would
Mm-hmm.
definitely the same. So
Oh,
just
poor
for
her.
for you, it's like now to stay at the calmness, uh, kind of like calm vibration and sure of yourself what you're doing. You're just undoing the damage that's been done, reprogramming everything and programming the way you want it, because you are the creator of your reality now. Nobody can influence you, nobody through any implants, any programs. Just stay in control of thing. And if
Oh,
something, because there's an inertia, of course, that you used to do this thing and you want to do the same thing over and over as you always do. Like, we're creatures of
yes.
habit, but you kind of have to break that habit, rather not focusing on breaking, but replacing it with something better for you. So
Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm grateful because I always had the feeling the implants has to go out because I got geometrical forms what were downloaded in my head, and
yeah, swear, yeah, technology.
yeah, so and I always said, oh yeah, and also you told me about my feet. I always had something is with my feet. I can't connect to Earth. I can't connect to Mother Earth, and I sometimes I can, but not the way it's supposed to be. So I really hope. And a few years back, I think maybe for 6 months I didn't had a feeling in my left or right first tick toe. It was, and I always wondered why, and then it came back. So,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
funny.
Okay,
Thank
coming
you
out
very
better.
much.
Sure, thanks to you.
Yes, and take a good rest.
Yeah, that was interesting. Thanks. Okay, let me turn off the recording, I guess.